Our guest is a renowned writer whose work has captivated readers for decades. Born in Ottawa in 1939, she spent much of her childhood in the backwoods of northern Quebec, an experience and deeply influenced her writings and environmental activism. She began her literary career after graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in English from Victorian College at the University of Toronto in 1961 and a master's degree from Richcliffe College in 1982. A professional writer since 1961, she also held teaching positions and writer-in-residence posts at universities in Canada, the US, and Australia. Please give a warm welcome to the one and only Margaret Atwood. Hi, welcome. So thank you. So Margaret, how is your flight or how's your visit here in the Philippines?
Well, as far as I can say, I really love the warm welcome of the Filipino citizen. Thank you so much for that kind of welcoming me at this occasion. So thank you so much, Miss Jazel.
Yes, it is. We are really appreciating your effort and your time here just visiting in our country. So let's dive into the topic for today, which are your words. Okay, so Margaret, so your words was always, or your novels always explore complex themes like power, gender, and social control. So in a world where this issue seems more relevant than ever, what do you hope readers will take away from your words like The Handmaid's Tale and The Testament?
So I've always been fascinated by how the power dynamics shape these societies. With both Handmaid's Tale and its sequel, I wanted to explore and fragility of our institution and is with which freedom can be lost. I hope that readers will be prompted to ask themselves, what is our responsibility to each other? And how do we protect our freedom? The world changes, but these questions remains timeless.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for this wonderful insights about your Handmaid's Tale and what inspired you to do it. So before we dive into our next question, let's have a quick break. Okay, let's go back in a moment.
Me ligo na madrugada no meu soninho de beleza. Laricinha carente não dorme sem mamadeira. Tingado na base já são 4 da manhã. E a prática conteúdo sem
And we're back! Okay, to this talk show about the literary people in our society. So, hello again, Miss Margaret. So once again, Miss Margaret is here to share her experiences and inspirations about her novel. So, on a different note, your novel, The Blind Assassin, won the Booker's Prize. So, congratulations. And it is known for that unique story within story structure. So, can you talk about what inspired you to use this narrative style and how you say the story you want to tell?
Thank you so much, Miss Jazel. So the last narrative perspective, explore the idea of how stories we tell ourselves. It allowed me to play with perspective and reality, showing how the truth can be elusive and how fiction can be sometimes reveal more than a simple recounting of fact. The structure mirrors the way memory works with layers of the stories and interpretations. So that's I can say that by the assassination.
Okay, that's wonderful. So again, congratulations on the award, you guys. So that's our second question for Miss Atwood. So before we go to our third question, let's have a quick weather update. Okay?
Good afternoon, everyone. We are currently under a heavy rainfall warning for much of the region and Zamboanga City as a powerful storms moves in. As you can see in our satellites map, a massive low pressure satellite is currently sweeping across the region, pulling in a significant amount of moisture from the ocean. This is fueling the widespread heavy rain we are already on. Looking ahead, the heaviest rain is expected to persist through the night before tapering off tomorrow morning. We'll see scattered showers for the rest of the weather, but not compared for what we're experiencing today. So the bottom line is, stay indoor if you can afford the necessary travel and flat place in case of emergency. Please.
Okay, welcome back again to our show, and that is, we knew that there is a typhoon and we are currently experiencing heavy downpour rain. So, to make this a quick as soon as possible because it rains flat here. Yes, I don't want that. Yeah, so, for our third question, Miss Margaret, moving into the more speculative realm, the Matt Adam trilogy delves into a post-apocalyptic world grappled with the themes of genetic modification and climate change. So, as a writer, what's your approach to crafting a world that is both speculative and grounded in the real world activities?
I'm not a prophet, but I've always paid close attention to what's happening in the science and technology. The ideas in the Madame Dam trilogy aren't pulled from the air. There are extrapolations of current trends. I believe that good speculative fiction takes a what if, approach to present day concerns by the grounding by the stories in the real scientific and the social anxieties. I hope that to make the world live and the warnings within it more and potent. So
Very good. Thank you so much for that wonderful and very, very insightful answer about the world and the changes that we are experiencing right now. Okay, so before we go to our last question and our fast talk, so let's have a quick break.
At Maya 21 Move.
we don't know about a real person and how we balance historical facts to narrative fiction.
So, writing about historical figure like Grace Marks was a different kind of challenge. You have framework of known fact, but they are so many casts. Like that's where the fictional narrative comes in. My goal wasn't to write a biography, but to explore the ambiguity, the mystery surrounding her. I tried to stay true to the known historical records while using my imagination to fill in the unrecorded parts of her story, and particularly her inner life and her motivations. It's about respecting the past while acknowledging that we can never truly live at all. So
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we all know that Grace Marks is a known person in history and literature. So it is really like amazing that you were able to write a book about her. Okay, very good. Right? That's it.
thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah. So before we end our interview or this talk show, let's go to Fast Talk.
Yo sou Smith no beat.
Oh, and we're back. Okay. So this portion is the fast talk. So, Margaret, for our first question. So this is a very, very fast. So, are you ready?
Yes, I'm pretty Jazel Regalado.
Okay. Mahal mo o mahal ka?
Wala ko.
Really? Truth or dare?
There.
Dare? Are you sure? This one. Money or fame?
Money.
Yes, we all love
Because I'm
money.
famous already. Ah!
Love or career?
Love.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Coffee. City or province?
Province.
Okay. Past or future?
Past.
Okay. So, your favorite? Lights on or lights off?